going to get straight on with it. And the question that most people asked out of any today was, what on earth's happening to mortgage rates, and particularly around the buy-to-let sector and the mortgage market. For obvious reasons, that's dominating everybody. So this is our take at the Mortgage Home. First of all, I want to go back to the 28th of February. That's a very key date when Donald Trump and Netanyahu decided that they were going to start bombing Iran. And that did change the trajectory for 2026. Over the following 6 weeks, March into April, we saw incrementally mortgage rates rise on average by about 1.25%. So by middle of April, they topped out at about that extra 1.25% higher. Then it stabilized. And as the markets really got the head around the war, where it was going, and what the impact was on the various countries that might be involved or impacted from an energy point of view, then they could, believe it or not, they can quantify that as best they can. And we know it's volatile, and then convert that, in particularly around swap rates and what the cost of borrowing is likely to be. And there, after that, we actually saw rates starting to drop. So where they peaked about 1.25% higher than where they were in February, on average, and again, you have to be generic, they are now about 0.75% higher than they were back in Feb. And they've stabilized at that level. Now, what's the prediction for the rest of the year? Well, if you can tell me what Trump's going to do tomorrow, I'll tell you what's going to happen to rates. So clearly there's a lot of uncertainty out there about what may or may not happen going forward. It looks fairly stable right now. And in terms of the Bank of England rates, it wouldn't surprise me, because they're trying to manage inflation. And of course, there's these upward pressures. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bank of England rates start to increase later on this year. Not significantly, but don't be surprised if you see a 0.25 or a 0.5% increase on the Bank of England rate. However, right now, I don't actually see mortgage rates increasing or following suit, because there is a disconnect, which I'm not going to get into, between the Bank of England and swap rates and how that impacts on mortgage rates. So my view for the rest of this year is that the rates you're seeing right now, I would use that for your planning for 2026. My caveat is, of course, that everything's open to change given the uncertainty, but that's my best guess right now. And so even though Bank of England rates might increase, I don't necessarily see mortgage rates going up. Of course, if you want to understand what the impact is on rates on you, then just jump on and make some time with the team, and we'll give you our best response in terms of rates for your particular situation.